Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, storytellers, and hello, world. Welcome again today. We are now streaming live through our Reader's Magnet Facebook page and also through our Reader's Magnet YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you will be updated with the latest happening here with Reader's Magnet. Now, it was really a remarkable 2 weeks of festivities and showcasing authors and their extraordinary stories. And today we have one of the featured authors. His name is Charles Gates Jr. He got this very interesting book, From Darkness to Light. And hi, Charles, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually very excited to do this particular interview with you. And I believe this is your second interview, right?
Yeah, second interview. I was live throughout the entire festival, though. It was a pretty cool getting to really know my fan base and what their thought process was, and answering all their questions.
Yeah, I saw some of them, and I really enjoyed watching you as well, doing a presentation or sort of like a conversation with your audience. So probably my question for you today, what does literary success look like to you?
What literary success looks like is your readers being impacted by your content. Not just writing something that sells, but writing something that changes the lives of those who read the story. Because that's who you're writing for.
Exactly. And, I have a little bit of sort of like, like I said, I was listening to you all throughout this week's, and I just kind of wonder, what is the most difficult thing about writing a characters, for example, from the opposite sex? That's I guess a bit challenging.
Well, we don't truly relate to everything they go through, so it's not the same as writing to somebody that you relate to. I've always been more empathetic toward people, so I can't put myself in their shoes, but like emotionally, I can relate to other people, and because what boils down to is we all struggle with similar issues. May not be the same problem, may not look the same, but we all struggle with things that happen to us that we're trying to pick up the pieces of. So, and I use that to uh, really play a role in my characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who, since it's a novel based on my testimony of my faith, they're based on real people. The names and stuff are different in most of them, and so they are based on real people that I've actually had interactions with and got to know over the years. So, um, yeah, which is both a good and bad thing. But
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing that you were able to be with them, because I think it wouldn't be that much difficult already for you to kind of like you know create a character for each and every um, characters of this particular book. Now, does your family support your career as a writer?
um, yeah, they were proud of me. Well, the first time I ever heard anyone say they were proud of me was when I published my first book.
Wow.
Um, so that was really like I felt like I accomplished something. I felt like for the first time in my life that I did something that was meaningful to someone that besides myself. That because yeah, it was meaningful to have my story heard, but at the same time to be able to reach out and let other people know that they're not alone in their struggle and their battles. Um, that was very meaningful to me.
I can absolutely agree with you, because like what everyone are actually sharing to us, to those fair goers that were asking questions. Writing a book doesn't, you know you can't just finish a book in just a week. I don't know, maybe, or if it's a children's book, maybe you can do that. But a novel, I mean, you need to work hard on it, like probably a 6 months or a year, right?
Yeah, yeah. For my novel particularly, well, it took me several years to even build up the courage to write it
Mm-hmm.
because of the content of it is exposed. It's very transparent. It really walks you through both my strengths and my weaknesses with transparency. And so I was afraid to start it, but when I did, I wrote the entire book in a year. I actually had edited it 7 times before my editor even looked at it.
Wow.
So by the time they
That's a
looked at
lot.
it, they gave me 2 suggestions, and they were minor things to that challenged me, but in a good way. But I was pretty proud of myself for really taking the time to make sure it was the way I wanted it.
I agree. And for those who are watching us live right now, you can grab a copy of Charles' book, From Darkness to Light. It's available in Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and you have your own website as well, Charles, right?
Yes. Yeah, CharlesGatesJr.com.
There you go, guys. And what about Facebook? Social media accounts.
Yeah, so my Facebook is facebook.com/ Charles Gates Jr. All lowercase. My Instagram is at Charles Gates Jr. All lowercase, no underscore, no space, nothing. So
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to find out,
yeah,
to check it out. I mean, there's your name in the screen right now. I mean, if you don't know how to spell it, just in case you kind of miss it, because some other, words or names, they were spelled in a different way. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, my second questions here for you are, for example, what is your favorite genre to read, and why is that?
poetry. I absolutely love poetry. It is a part of me. It is an extension of who I am. Even when I'm writing, even my novel, you'll see key points in my novel where
Mm-hmm.
it flows like a poem
Mm-hmm.
without me. I don't try it. it just pours out of me because I'm a poet myself. I'm getting more into spoken word as well, which is basically performing the poetry I write. For those who may not know what spoken word is, but yeah, poetry I absolutely love it, because it reminds me of music, and it's an extension. It's like an outlet for me. But I also really like sci-fi type of sci-fi adventure genres. That's that really keeps my imagination flowing, and it challenges me to develop a world that nobody else has ever been to.
That's true. I agree. Do you have plans writing any books like those? You know that you mentioned, like maybe create a poems maybe or
Well,
different genre, like like what you mentioned.
yeah, I actually have a book of poetry. That was actually my first book. So my book of poetry can be found all in the other places as my novel. So if you go to my website, charlesgatesjr.com, you see that in there. I talk about both on there. Um, I also have another book of poetry coming out that's not released yet,
Okay.
and I don't have a time frame on that yet, so I can't talk too much about it. But it's gonna be really good.
Wow, that's good. I mean, at least to those that are watching us live right now, they can probably watch out for that one or wait for that book to be available. Do you have your book with you right now? I mean, the book From Darkness to Light. Yeah,
This is
I'm
my
just
novel.
really yeah. I can say that the cover is amazing, and I don't know how you came out with that book cover. Probably that was asked to you already before, but I don't want to ask you anymore. I mean,
Uh,
it's a good one. It's a good one. I'm
Actually,
telling you.
it has not been asked
Anyway,
live, but
go ahead.
so the book cover, this one too. Like this is part of the same photo shoot. This is my book of poetry. Another
Yeah,
cool cover, right?
yeah, yeah. It
These
is.
are actually natural photos of myself.
Wow.
Um, it was taken during the author photo shoot by my friend Heather Dunkelberger,
Right.
and this was done with with a mirror, and that was actually done for the last poem in my first book of poetry, "The Maze of Mirrors," but we
Oh,
never
okay.
used it. So because we never used it, I was flipping through my photos one day, and I was like, oh wow, it really spoke to me because it really displayed like inward battle that I was going through with in this novel. So it really spoke out, and the publishing company did all the font, and they made it look awesome.
Wow. And I considering you have a lot of books right now, or quite good numbers of books right now. How many drafts do your books generally have to go through before you decide to publish it?
Well, the poetry, before I publish them, I'm constantly updating my poetry as I get better at writing.
Mm-hmm.
So my poems go through most usually a tremendous amount of pruning and purging before I actually feel okay, this is good enough. Because every writer is struggles with the thought that their work is not good enough. It's not perfect. It's not. Most writers have that OCD when it comes to their work, and
Yeah.
nothing they do will ever fully 100% get that last drop they need. Um, that they think it needs. But to the other person, it's like 120% better. Then it's yeah, a lot different from the writer to the reader. It looks a lot different.
Yep.
You're your own worst critic.
That's true. Any message for those aspiring writers out there, or maybe to those that are actually trying to be a writer right now or an author?
Just pick up the pen and do it. Just write down your thoughts. Stop procrastinating. Stop
That's
telling
true.
yourself that that you'll do it tomorrow. Stop procrastinating. You will never get better at writing unless you write. Unless you write,
I agree.
unless you write your worst stuff, you'll never be able to write your best stuff.
That's true. And, I absolutely agree with you with that, Charles. Anyway, thank you so much, Charles, for, giving us time today. I would really
Absolutely.
love to ask you a lot of questions here, but we're kind of running out of time. But thank you so much again for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. And there you go, everyone. Charles Gates Jr., he's the author of the book From Darkness to Light. It's available in Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and he got his own website as well, CharlesGatesJr.com. Am I right, Charles?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thanks a lot again, Charles.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep. As we say it here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Goodbye.